John Miller stood at the viewing port of Proxima Centauri Station. The stars looked cold and distant, much like the alien representatives he had to face in 1 hour. He sighed and straightened his ambassador uniform. 50 years. Humanity had been part of the Galactic Council for 50 years. What had it gotten them? Not much. Less and less each year, if he was honest. Ambassador, the Council has moved the meeting up. They're waiting for you now. Susan Wright, his military commander, appeared at his side. Her face was serious, more so than usual. Of course they did, John said. Another way to keep us off balance. They walked through the gleaming hallways of the station. Aliens of all types moved around them. Some had too many limbs. Others had strange colors or shapes. None of them looked at the humans directly. I found something, sir, Susan said quietly. Proof that the Zoraxians are mining in our territory. The Council knows and does nothing. John nodded. This was not new. It was just one more thing on a long list. They entered the Council chamber. 200 representatives from across the galaxy sat in rising rows. At the center was a round table where the most important members sat. Humanity did not have a seat there. Evil Lord. Tack, the Council leader, looked at them with his 4 eyes. Ambassador Miller, we have decided the resource allocation for the next cycle. John stepped forward. Before you announce that, I need to bring up urgent concerns about. The decision is made. Sortak cut him off. Earth colonies will receive standard minimal support. The growing worlds of the Palaxian cluster require more resources. The Palaxian representative flickered his wing membranes in what passed for a smile. This is the 3rd cycle our needs have been ignored, John said. His voice was calm but firm. Our outer colonies are struggling. We have evidence that Council species are taking resources from our territories without permission. Zortak waved a limb. Your claims lack evidence. The Council must consider galactic stability over the complaints of a single species. Susan stepped forward and activated her datapad. We have proof. These scans show Zoraxian mining ships in the Ta City system. Our system. Murmurs spread through the chamber. The Zoraxian representative hissed. These matters can be discussed in private committees, Tortak said. Now is not the time. John looked around the room. He saw what he always saw. Dismissal. Condescension. Humanity was young. Humanity was rash. Humanity needed to be controlled. In that moment, something broke inside him. 50 years of playing by their rules. 50 years of being pushed aside. Enough. No. John's voice cut through the chamber. No more committees. No more delays. No more treaties that only we follow. The room went quiet. Ambassador Miller, you forget yourself. Sortak said. I forget nothing. For 50 years, humanity has contributed technology, resources, and goodwill to this council. We have followed your rules. We have waited our turn. And what have we received? Restrictions on our growth, theft of our resources, condescension in place of respect. Susan looked at him with wide eyes, but John couldn't stop now. As of this moment, humanity withdraws from the Galactic Council, effective immediately. The chamber erupted. Some representatives stood in shock. Others shouted. A few seemed to smile. Vortak raised all 4 arms. You cannot. The economic implications alone are not our concern any longer, John said. Our ships will return to human space. Our resources are no longer available to the Council. Our borders are closed to Council species. This is madness. The Palaxian representative chittered. You will destroy yourselves without Council protection. John smiled for the first time that day. Perhaps, or perhaps you need us more than we need you. He turned to leave, Susan beside him. This decision will have consequences, Ambassador. Sortak called after them. The Council has stood for 10,000 years. Species like yours rise and fall. We endure. John stopped at the door and looked back at the chamber, at all the alien faces now watching him with new expressions, worry, anger, and was that fear? "We'll see about that," he said, and walked out. 6 months passed since humanity left the Galactic Council. Earth buzzed with activity. Ships moved in and out of orbit like busy bees around a hive. On the main view screen of Earth Defense Fleet Command, Admiral Peter Johnson watched the largest fleet movement in human history. "Status report," he said to the room of officers. "Colony defense fleets are at 80% deployment," said his second in command. "The outer settlements are still vulnerable, but improving daily." Peter nodded. They had to protect 27 colonies spread across 15 star systems. It was no small task. His comm unit beeped. "Admiral, Director Garcia needs to speak with you." Lisa Garcia's face appeared on his screen. She looked tired. As Colonial Director, she had been working nonstop since the withdrawal. "Admiral, I have good news and bad news," she said. "Good news, Mars and Europa have increased food production by 30%. We won't starve. And the bad. The Centauri colonies need more time. They relied heavily on Council tech for their atmospheric systems." Peter frowned. "Do they need evacuation?" "Not yet. My engineers are adapting Earth tech to replace the alien systems. But it's slow work." A young officer interrupted. "Admiral, we have an incoming ship. Council markings." Both Peter and Lisa tensed. "Just one?" Peter asked. "Yes, sir. Small diplomatic vessel. They're requesting permission to dock." Peter looked at Lisa's image. She nodded. "Let them dock. Full security protocols." An hour later, Peter stood in the meeting room as the alien diplomat entered. Zrelfax was tall and thin with blue-tinged skin. His species, the axillary, had been among the more reasonable council members. "Admiral Johnson." "Director Garcia," Zrelfax said with a small bow. "I come with a message from the council." "We're listening," Lisa said. "The council requests that humanity reconsider its withdrawal. It was a hasty decision made in anger." Peter almost laughed. "Hasty? We endured 50 years of disrespect before Ambassador Miller made that call." "Perhaps there were misunderstandings," Zrelfax said, "but surely we can resolve them. The Council is willing to discuss increased resource allocation to human colonies." "After we left, suddenly you're willing to negotiate," Lisa noted. "Interesting timing." Zrelfax shifted uncomfortably. "Several trade networks have experienced disruption. Nothing major, but concerning." Now Peter did smile. "You mean you're starting to feel the pinch? What happens when colonies can't get the materials they need?" "This benefits no one," Zrelfax insisted. "The galaxy has operated under Council guidance for thousands of years. Your withdrawal creates dangerous instability." A message flashed on Peter's tablet. He read it quickly. "Speaking of instability," he said, "we just received reports of Zeraxian ships firing on our mining vessels in Ta City, the same system they were illegally mining in." Zrelfax looked genuinely surprised. "I was not informed of this." "Of course not," Lisa said, "because the Council doesn't actually control its members, does it? It just controls the species it can bully. Like us, until recently." Peter stood up. "You can tell the Council that humanity's decision stands. We've already seen improvements in our situation since leaving." "Admiral, Director, please consider." "We're done considering," Peter said firmly. "Our ships are returning to human space. Our borders are defined and will be defended. Any Council species that wants to trade can negotiate directly with us, as equals." Zrelfax looked defeated. "This will not end well." "Maybe not," Lisa admitted, "but at least we'll be making our own decisions." After the alien left, Peter looked out the window at Earth below. Beautiful and blue. "You know they'll try again," Lisa said, joining him. "Yes, and when that fails, some may try force." Lisa nodded. "The tech division reports progress on replacing alien components. The new fusion drives are better than the Council versions." "How is that possible?" Peter asked. According to the engineers, Council tech always had strange limitations built in, almost like they were holding us back on purpose. Peter finished her thought. They stood in silence, watching their home planet spin below. We made the right call, Lisa finally said. Yes, Peter agreed. Now we just have to survive it. 1 year had passed since humanity walked away from the Galactic Council. At the busy trading hub of Taw City, Eric Carter watched alien merchants hurry past. As Earth's top diplomat in neutral space, he had seen many changes over the past months, none more surprising than what happened today. The Valerians are bankrupt. Eric asked the aliens sitting across from him. Their entire economy. Caliph, a purple-skinned merchant with 6 eyes, nodded. Their banking system failed last week. They relied too heavily on human markets. Eric tried not to look pleased. The Valerians had been among the most vocal critics when humanity left the Council. Many species face similar problems, Caliph continued. The Council economic model assumed human participation. Without it, he made a gesture like something falling. And yet you still trade with us, Eric noted. My people never joined the Council, Caliph said. We saw its flaws long ago. Eric's comm unit buzzed. Olivia Diaz was calling from the military outpost nearby. He excused himself and took the call. Please tell me you have good news, Eric said. Olivia's face lit up the screen. As the lead engineer at Delta 9 Outpost, she had been working on a critical project. Better than good, she said. We did it. The new gravity stabilizers work even better than the alien tech we used to rely on. Eric felt a wave of relief. Human ships had used Council-provided gravity systems for decades. When they left the Council, those components became impossible to get. How soon can we roll them out to the fleet? He asked. We're already building them. Every ship can be upgraded within 3 months. Excellent work, Olivia. After ending the call, Eric returned to Caliph, who looked nervous. Something wrong? Eric asked. Caliph leaned forward. I came for more than trade agreements. I need to speak privately. In Eric's secure office, Caliph revealed the real reason for his visit. My homeworld is in danger, he said. Fighting has broken out among Council species over resources previously shared. The Zocte and Pellers have already come to blows over the mining rights to Sector 87. Why tell us this? Eric asked. Because some of us want protection. My people would trade exclusively with humans in exchange for security. Eric was surprised. You're asking for an alliance. Call it what you wish. We are not alone. Other independent worlds see what is happening. The Council is fracturing. Eric's comm unit buzzed again with an urgent message. Reports of a coup on Velner, one of the founding Council worlds. The new government was blaming the old for economic failures. He looked at Caliph with new understanding. This is happening faster than we expected. Humans were the linchpin, Caliph said simply. Pull it out, and everything falls apart. Eric finished. Later that day, Eric sent his report to Earth. In the military section of the station, Olivia was doing the same. Our long-range sensors detected increased fleet movements near Proxima Centauri, she told her superiors. Multiple Council species gathering ships. Their intentions are unclear. She paused before adding, there's something else. We've intercepted communications suggesting that Council members are fighting among themselves over Earth technology. Apparently, our innovations were being distributed by the Council at their discretion. At Earth Command, Admiral Johnson reviewed these reports with growing concern. They used us, he told Director Garcia. Our technology, our resources, our markets, everything. And now they're falling apart without us, she replied. The question is, the Admiral said, will they let us go peacefully, or will they try to drag us back in? As if answering his question, the alert system chimed. A Council fleet had just crossed into human territory. Daniel Scott stared at his screen in disbelief. 2 years after humanity's exit from the Galactic Council, he had finally broken their most secret codes. What he found shocked him. "This can't be right," he muttered. As Earth's top intelligence officer, Daniel had seen many classified files. None like this. His office door opened. Michelle Weber, the lead xenobiologist, entered with a strange blue-skinned alien. "Daniel, this is Kreenax," Michelle said. "He's a scientist who defected from Council space. You need to hear what he has to say." Daniel nodded and secured the room. "I just found something disturbing in Council records." "Let me guess," Kreenax said in perfect English. "You discovered that the entire Council economy was built around human innovation." Daniel blinked in surprise. "How did you know?" "Because I helped to design the system," Kreenax admitted. "For centuries, the Council grew by finding new species and using their unique abilities. But humanity was different." Michelle sat down. "Different how?" "Your adaptability is unmatched," Kreenax explained. "Most species excel in one area, the Zocte in mathematics, the Peller in biology. Humans excel in everything, given time." Daniel turned his screen so they could see it. According to these files, human innovations were responsible for 60% of Council technological advances in the last 40 years. "Correct," Kreenax said. "The Council took human ideas, modified them slightly, then distributed them across the galaxy at high prices, while restricting our growth and exploration," Daniel added bitterly. "They feared you," Kreenax said simply. "No species had ever adapted so quickly. The Council has controlled galactic development for thousands of years. Your potential threatened that control." Michelle looked thoughtful. "My team recently completed a study of all known species. Humans are the only ones who continue to physically evolve at an accelerated rate. Which is why I defected," Kreenax said. "My homeworld has already collapsed into civil war. Others will follow. I believe humanity represents the future." Daniel's computer beeped with an urgent message. "We're receiving distress calls from former Council worlds. Their economies are failing without access to technologies we provided. Will Earth help them?" Kreenax asked. Michelle and Daniel exchanged looks. "That's not our decision," Michelle said. "But humanity doesn't abandon those in need." Later that day, they presented their findings to Earth's leadership. The room was silent as they explained what they had discovered. "So the Council didn't just use us," Admiral Johnson said. "Their entire existence depended on us. And they hid this fact," Director Garcia added, "even from their own people." "Should we make this public?" someone asked. Daniel considered this carefully. "If we do, it might cause panic in systems already on the edge of collapse." "But if we don't," Michelle countered, "we deny those worlds the truth about why they're suffering." Admiral Johnson stood up. "We'll release the information gradually. Meanwhile, we should prepare humanitarian missions. There will be refugees." Director Garcia nodded. "And strengthen our defenses. Some former Council leaders might blame us rather than accept their own failure." After the meeting, Daniel walked with Michelle and Kreenax to the research center. "Will other Council scientists defect?" Daniel asked. "Many already have," Kreenax said. "They go to independent worlds or try to reach Earth. The smartest ones saw this coming years ago." Michelle looked out at the stars visible through the window. "I never thought our leaving would cause this much chaos." "The Council was already rotting from within," Kreenax said. "Humanity just happened to be the pillar holding everything up." Daniel's communicator buzzed. The largest banking system in Council space had just collapsed. The galactic economy was in free fall. "It's happening even faster than we predicted," he said. "And this is just the beginning," Kreenax warned. "The real collapse is still to come." 3 years after humanity left the Galactic Council, the collapse was in full swing. Kevin Martinez watched from the bridge of his relief ship as they approached a once proud Council world. Now the planet Viridian was in chaos. Smoke rose from several cities visible from orbit. "Captain Brown, are we cleared to land?" Kevin asked. Sophia Brown nodded. Her military vessel flew alongside Kevin's relief ship. "My team has secured the landing zone. but we need to be quick. The fighting is getting closer. Kevin had led relief missions to 12 former Council worlds in the past 6 months. Each one was worse than the last. How many can we evacuate? He asked. The ship can take 500, Sophia replied. We're focusing on medical personnel and children. Kevin looked at the planet again. What happened here? Viridian was one of the richest Council worlds. Civil war, Sophia said simply. When their economy collapsed, the government blamed the outer colonies. The colonies fought back. Now everyone is fighting everyone. The ships landed in what was once a beautiful spaceport. Now it was filled with desperate people. Sophia's soldiers created a safe corridor for the medical team. Kevin coordinated the distribution of food and medicine. A tall alien with red skin approached him. You are from Earth? The alien asked. Kevin nodded. I am Trelvor. I lead what remains of the resistance here. The alien looked tired. We did not believe it would come to this when your people left the council. Neither did we, Kevin admitted. Trelvor gestured to the crowds. These people had everything. Now they fight over scraps. The council lied to us for generations about how our prosperity was created. Kevin had heard this before. The council had hidden humanity's true contribution to galactic prosperity. We have room on our ships for 500 people, Kevin said. Trelvor looked pained. There are thousands in need. We'll return for more, Kevin promised, and we're sending additional ships to other affected worlds. As they worked, Sophia received an urgent message. We need to hurry, she told Kevin. Warlords from the southern continent are moving this way. Warlords? Kevin was shocked. On Viridian? Former military officers, Trelvor explained. They took control of weapon stockpiles when the government fell. Now they control territory and resources. Kevin watched as people boarded the ship, families torn apart, children clutching small possessions, the elderly helped by strangers. Will Earth accept all these refugees? Trelvor asked. Those who wish to come, Kevin said. Others will help resettle unstable worlds. We're establishing safe zones in several systems. A distant explosion shook the ground. Sophia grabbed Kevin's arm. Time to go, she said firmly. As they prepared for liftoff, Kevin received a transmission from Earth. Director Garcia's face appeared on the screen. Kevin, there's been a development, she said. We found Council archives on Viridian. They show that humanity was brought into the Council specifically to be exploited. They did the same to other species before us. Kevin glanced at the desperate people on his ship. They're paying a heavy price for their leaders' actions. Yes, Garcia agreed. That's why Earth has made a decision. We're expanding the humanitarian mission, and we're offering membership in a new alliance to any world that wants to rebuild based on fair principles. Kevin felt a small hope rise in him. Will it work? We don't know, Garcia admitted, but we have to try. As the ships left Viridian's atmosphere, Kevin looked back at the burning world. Once it had been a jewel of the galaxy. Now it was just one of many broken planets. Where to next? Sophia asked. Kevin checked his datapad. The Proxima colonies. They're running out of medical supplies. The ships jumped to light speed, leaving behind a galaxy in chaos, but carrying with them the first seeds of something new. 4 years had passed since humanity's exit from the Galactic Council. At a neutral outpost on the edge of human space, Ryan Phillips prepared for an unusual meeting. As director of Earth's diplomatic corps, he had met with many alien representatives. Today was different. They're here, his assistant said, entering his office. 12 species, just as they promised. Ryan straightened his uniform. Any weapons? None detected. Their ships are also staying at the agreed distance. Ryan nodded and walked to the conference room. Inside, a diverse group of aliens waited. Some had tentacles. Others had wings. A few looked almost human. What they shared was a careful optimism. An alien with metallic skin stepped forward. I am Vexmar, spokesperson for the Coalition of Independent Worlds. We thank you for agreeing to meet. Ryan took his seat at the table. Earth is always open to peaceful dialogue. Across the station, Natalie Young watched the meeting through security feeds. As Earth's top military strategist, she was there to assess threats. Her team monitored space around the station. Movement at Sector 4, one of her officers reported. Natalie tensed. Hostile. No, Mom. Refugee ships, at least 20 of them, fleeing from former Council space. This was happening more frequently. As former Council worlds fell into chaos, people fled in any ship that could fly. Direct them to Safe Corridor 2, Natalie ordered. Alert the humanitarian fleet. Back in the conference room, Vexmar was explaining the Coalition's proposal. Many of us were uncomfortable with Council methods for centuries, he said. But speaking out meant isolation or worse. When humanity left and the Council began to crumble, we saw an opportunity. An opportunity for what? Ryan asked. A new beginning, another alien said. An alliance based on respect and mutual benefit, not dominance and exploitation. Ryan studied them carefully. The last alliance humanity joined didn't work out well for us. Vexmar nodded. We know what the Council did. They did similar things to many of our worlds, though less severely. They controlled which technologies each species could access. They manipulated trade to create dependency. And now you want our help, Ryan stated. We want partnership, Vexmar corrected. Already former Council warlords raid our worlds. Pirates using abandoned military ships attack our trade routes. Alone, we are vulnerable. Together, with human innovation and our combined resources, we could build something better than the Council ever was. Ryan considered this. Earth's leaders had been discussing a new galactic framework for months. This could be the first step. We would need guarantees, he said. Complete technological exchange, open borders, joint defense agreements. All possible, Vexmar agreed. We bring our own strengths. The Peltanians have unmatched medical knowledge. The Zoracs possess efficient energy systems. In her security center, Natalie received an urgent alert. Ma'am, we've detected a battle fleet approaching. Former Council military vessels under the command of Warlord Draknar. Natalie cursed. Time to arrival. 20 minutes. They're jamming communications to the station. Natalie grabbed her weapons. Secure the diplomatic team. Prepare defense grid. Alert our ships in the area. She rushed toward the conference room. Inside, Ryan and the aliens were making progress on a framework agreement. This could work, Ryan said. Earth would be willing to. Natalie burst in. We have a situation. Hostile fleet approaching. The aliens looked alarmed. Vexmar turned to Ryan. Draknar has threatened all who seek alliance with humans. He claims Earth must return to Council control. Ryan looked at Natalie. Options. Our nearest battle group is 15 minutes out. The station's defenses can hold for maybe 10 minutes against a fleet that size. Vexmar stepped forward. Our ships are lightly armed, but we can help. Ryan looked surprised. You would fight alongside us. We have no formal agreement yet. This is the difference between your way and the Council's way, Vexmar said simply. We choose to stand with our potential allies. As alarms blared throughout the station, Ryan and Vexmar shook hands. Perhaps, Ryan said, this is our first joint operation. 5 years after humanity walked away from the Council, New Geneva Spaceport buzzed with activity. Ships from 20 different worlds moved in and out of docking bays. Aliens of all shapes and sizes walked alongside humans. President Andrew Wilson watched from his office window. As Earth's leader, he had made the final decision to support the Galactic Cooperative, the alliance that rose from the Council's ashes. They said we would destroy ourselves, he murmured. His aide smiled. Instead, we're helping rebuild the galaxy. A tall blue alien entered the office. Zarkon was the newest diplomat to join the cooperative. President Wilson, thank you for meeting with me, Zarkon said. How does the situation on your homeworld? Andrew asked. Zarkan's face showed worry. My people are divided. Many support joining the cooperative. Others fear close ties with humans. Because of what happened to the council. Yes, they believe the story spread by former council leaders that humanity deliberately destroyed galactic stability. Andrew sighed. We only wanted fair treatment. I know this, Zarkan said. That is why I am here. I need evidence to convince my people. Andrew nodded. Come with me. They traveled to the reconstruction headquarters where Heather Ross was working. As Earth's top reconstruction expert, she had designed projects across dozens of worlds. Zarkan needs to see what we're doing, Andrew explained. Heather smiled. Perfect timing. We're about to test the new atmospheric processors for Viridian. She led them to a massive control room. On screens, they could see machines being installed on a once-dying world. These will clean the air faster than anything the council had, Heather explained. And we're sharing the technology freely with all cooperative members. Zarkan watched in amazement. The council would have charged worlds for generations for such technology. That's the difference, Andrew said. The cooperative exists to help everyone advance, not to control them. Later, they visited a research center where teams of humans and aliens worked side by side. Our latest discovery is fascinating, a scientist told them. We found ruins on Proxima b that suggest this isn't the first time a galactic government has collapsed. What do you mean? Andrew asked. The scientist showed them ancient images. It appears at least 3 previous civilizations rose and fell. Each time, it seems one dominant group controlled resources and technology. History repeats itself, Zarkan said quietly. Unless we learn from it, Andrew added. As they left the center, an alert sounded. A group of ships had entered the system without permission. Former council hardliners, security reported. They're broadcasting demands that Earth surrender its stolen technology. Andrew remained calm. Are cooperative defense ships in position? Yes, sir. Human, Polarian, and Zoraxian vessels have formed a blockade. The hardliners had not expected a unified response. After a brief standoff, they retreated. They grow desperate, Zarkan noted. More worlds join the cooperative each month. Andrew nodded. But they remain dangerous. Some still have powerful weapons. That evening, Andrew addressed representatives from 35 species. The Grand Hall of New Geneva Spaceport was filled to capacity. 5 years ago, humanity stood alone, he began. We had no choice but to leave a system that exploited us. We never expected the council to collapse, nor did we anticipate the suffering that would follow. The room was silent as he continued. But from that chaos, we have built something better together. The Galactic Cooperative now includes worlds that were once enemies. We share technology, resources, and knowledge freely. He looked at the diverse faces before him. The former council claimed stability required control. We are proving that true stability comes from cooperation and respect. After the speech, Zarkan approached Andrew. I will tell my people what I have seen here, he said. I believe they will join us. Andrew smiled. One world at a time. We're building something that might actually last. 10 years had passed since humanity walked away from the Galactic Council. The Grand Hall of Earth's capital was filled with representatives from 127 species. They gathered to celebrate the formal adoption of the Galactic Cooperative Charter. William Clark sat in a place of honor near the front. His hands trembled slightly with age. As Ambassador John Miller's chief advisor during the withdrawal, he had seen both the darkest days and the brightest triumphs of the past decade. Never thought I'd live to see this, he said to the young woman beside him. Emma Nelson smiled. At 32, she represented the new generation of human leaders. She had been just a student when humanity left the council. You made it possible, she told William. All of you who took that risk 10 years ago. William shook his head. We just wanted to be treated fairly. We never imagined. He gestured at the diverse crowd. Species that had once been bitter enemies now sat together, talking and even laughing. The cooperative had grown beyond anyone's expectations. On the stage, President Wilson stood with the leaders of other founding worlds. Behind them was a display showing hundreds of rehabilitated planets and new joint colonies. Today marks not just the signing of a charter, Wilson said. It represents a fundamental shift in how species interact across our galaxy. William noticed a tall, scholarly-looking alien moving through the crowd toward them. Jex Toll was the galaxy's foremost historian, having spent years documenting the Council's rise and fall. Elder Clark, Jextel said with a respectful bow. The final volume is complete. He handed William a data device. On it was The Rise and Fall of the Galactic Council, a comprehensive history. Thank you for your contributions, Jextel said. Your personal accounts were invaluable. William held the device carefully. Does it explain why it all happened? Yes, Jextel said. The Council began with noble intentions thousands of years ago, but over time, it became focused on control rather than cooperation. Each new species was seen as a resource to be exploited, not a partner to be welcomed. Emma leaned forward. And humanity was just the last in a long line, but the first to successfully break free, Jextel added. And in doing so, you revealed the Council's fundamental weakness. It could not survive without continuous exploitation. On stage, the leaders were signing the charter. Each signature was met with applause. The document enshrined principles of technological sharing, fair trade, mutual defense, and respect for sovereignty. The former Council worlds that refused to join, William asked, how are they faring? Jextel's expression grew somber. Not well. Those that cling to the old ways of dominant struggle and isolation. Some have descended into perpetual civil wars. We still offer them a place, Emma said, if they accept the Charter's principles. After the ceremony, William found himself looking at the massive view screen showing the first cooperative deep space mission preparing to launch. The ship was a marvel of combined technologies from dozens of species. Will you watch the launch? Emma asked, joining him. William smiled. I've seen enough history. This belongs to your generation now. Emma's communicator buzzed. She checked it and grinned. They've approved my proposal. I'll be co-commanding the exploration mission with Jextel. William looked surprised. You're going? Someone has to see what's beyond known space, she said. The cooperative believes we'll find more civilizations out there. Maybe even the descendants of those ancient galactic cultures we discovered. William nodded with understanding. The desire to explore, to connect, to build something lasting. These were the qualities that had helped humanity survive when they stood alone. Now these same qualities were shaping the new galactic future. What we do today ripples across tomorrow, he said, quoting an old saying. Emma smiled. And tomorrow looks bright. As the celebration continued around them, William thought about the long journey from that tense council chamber 10 years ago to this moment of true cooperation. Humanity had not just survived the collapse they triggered, they had helped build something better from the ruins.